So good morning to all of you. Welcome to the second part of this Android development with Kotlin sessions. In first part of these sessions, we have covered different things. In first part, within 5 sessions, we have seen how to set up Android Studio or Android development, how to add Android virtual device support, how to provide USB debugging option to run your Android application into your Android mobile phone, as well as we have seen layouts, we have seen activities, right? Debugging, breakpoints, and then finally there we have seen how to add animations into your Android application, how to add menu and menu items. Okay. So in the second part of Android development with Kotlin, we'll be starting with how to add recycler views into your Android application. Okay. So in today's session, we'll be looking at how to give your project and an appropriate name, as well as how to assign initial package structure. Then we'll be learning about each step of the project setup process and the associated screens during the project setup process, right? Then how to set up a new project. Okay. In previous version of those sessions, we have created one application. Okay. Where two text views and button with animation support we have added. So in this next part of session, we'll be creating one separate app. Okay, so we'll be creating that new project for these second part of sessions. Okay, so next we'll be looking at how to set up recycler view adapter to populate the list data, which is to be displayed in the Android application. So basically, recycler views are used to display the list items, which will be displayed to the user to your mobile application. So then, how to set up a view holder to handle the layout of each item in the list. So as there may be multiple items in the list, so how those list items should get displayed. Okay, those list item may be get displayed in linear fashion, or maybe in block fashion, or maybe in frame fashion. Right? So how to handle these layouts of those list items, that will be decided. Those layouts will be decided by the view holder. So how to set up that view holder for specifying the list item in particular layout. Okay, these things we'll be covering in today's session. So basically, we'll start with the description of recycler view. So what is recycler view? Okay, so as you can see in these screenshots of the application, these both applications are designed by using recycler view. Okay, so here you can see inbox of email that you are using, where different emails are listed, right, in linear fashion, right. Similarly, in second application, different items are displayed in these block fashion view, right. So both these applications are designed by using support of recycler view. One fab button is also included here. Okay, it is nothing but a floating action button. You can adjust the view of the button. You can drag this button anywhere in your application, right. So such type of application you can design by using recycler view. You can take example of Facebook application, where different posts are displayed in linear fashion one by one, right. Similarly, you can take example of WhatsApp application, where different messages are getting displayed one after another. Those are displayed in linear fashion, right. So all such applications can be designed by using recycler views. Okay. So the simplest way to implement these kind of list, where these lists are displayed in any Android application, is to use a class which is named as the recycler view. So you can use this recycler view class to implement the different types of list. Okay, whatever displayed in the screenshot that I have displayed in previous slide. So recycler views lets you display large amount of data, right? If there is large amount of data that can be properly managed with the recycler view, so each piece of data is treated as an atom within the recycler view. So whatever uh, list that has been displayed or whatever data that you want to display, so each piece of data can be considered as a single atom in that recycler view. Each of these atoms make up the contents of the recycler view, right? Recycler view has two required components. Okay, so today we'll be looking at these, how to add these two components, how to handle or interact with these two components into the recycler view. So what are those components? So first one is adapter and second one is the view holder. So basically these components are required to display the atoms list of atoms into your recycler view, right? So there may be multiple atoms appearing in your recycler view. So to display those atoms in list form, these adapter and view holders are the required components. Okay, so uh, looking at the recycler view, this first part indicates the recycler view, second indicates the adapter. Okay, so how these recycler views are interacting with adapter and view holder, correct? Because to display the atoms into recycler view, these are the two required component, which are those, so adapter and view holder. So how recycler view displays these list atoms or displays the large amount of data. So first recycler view asks the adapter how many atoms are there to be displayed inside the recycler view, right? Next, what it will do, recycler view asks the adapter, okay, for an atom or the view holder at a given position. Okay, so this atom will be displayed at different position inside the recycler view. So uh, the atom to be displayed will be requested from the adapter by the recycler. Okay. Next, the adapter reaches into the pool of view holder that have been created. So these view holders may be statically created or maybe it will be created at runtime. Okay, so adapter when recycler will ask the adapter for the available view holders or the item to be displayed, then adapter will reaches to the pool of view holders, okay, or new view holder will be created. Then this view holder uh, will be returned to the adapter, or new view holders will be created, right? So after returning it to the adapter will bind these view holders to the data atom, okay, at the given position where these view holders should get displayed. According to that, data atoms will be binded to the view holder, which view holder are already available or maybe newly created, okay, to be displayed at a particular position inside the recycler view. And these view holder then return, which has been binded with the data, this view folder will be returned to the recycler view for displaying into the recycler view, okay, in a particular layout form, right? So this is the overall process followed by the recycler view. So first one, that is recycler view asks the adapter how many atoms it has, then then again recycler view request for an view holder or atom to be displayed, then adapter goes to the pool of view holder which are already available, or it will create new view holders. Then this view holder will be returned to the adapter, or new view holders will be created. Then view holder will get binded with the data atoms, which is to be displayed at the particular position. Then the adapter will return those view holder to recycler view, so that those view holders will should get displayed inside the recycler view. Okay, so by following these steps, these different types of what applications can be created by using recycler view, right? So you can take example of maybe your mailboxes, or maybe such kind of application, or maybe your WhatsApp or Facebook application where post has been displayed, or WhatsApp application where different messages have been displayed in the list form. So such application can be created by using recycler view. Okay, so again, for today's session, these two videos are there. So I will try to play these two videos one by one. So first we'll be creating a new application. Correct. So just I shared the screen. So again, we'll be opening our Android Studio with administrative privileges. Okay. So once it will get open, your components, module, workspace, and files will get configured and open. So if there is any earlier project which is open, so you have to close that project as we want to start a new project. So once you close this project, so the screen will get appeared, right? Where you can select different options, but we want to start a new project. So before that, we will go through each option provided by the Android Studio. So first one is the start a new Android Studio project. So if you want to create a new project, so you will select this option. If you want to open an existing Android Studio project, you will select second option. So if there is already created project, just like these two applications are here, my app, my first app. So you can select this second option where this or maybe some at some different location this Android Studio project has been stored, or you have uh, taken one stored project or copied one project into your environment and you want to load that project, then you can select this second option. Okay. This checkout project from version control. Okay, so there are different options. So you can create your project version for Git. Okay, that is, it can be directly uploaded on GitHub, or maybe on Google Cloud or Mercurial, or maybe there are different options such as subversions. So as per the deployment platform, you can select the version control from these options. Okay. Similarly, uh, so there is another option which is called as profile or debug APK. So this can be selected if you want to debug your Android package which has been created, APK file which has been created after the build of your application. Okay, or you can import project uh, uh, from Gradle, maybe Gradle compatible, or Eclipse ADT compatible, that is Android development Wiki compatible, right? So those projects can be imported. Or you can import an Android code sample. So Android provides different code sample for different application. There are n number of samples. So you just go through this import an Android code sample. You will get already built up project for exploring different features provided by the Android. Okay, so this you can go through those code sample to learn more about the Android development. Right? But for today's session, we'll be creating a new Android Studio project. So we'll click on that Android Studio project. Again, there are different options provided here. That is phone and tablet, in variable OS, or maybe television or automotive, then IoT, that is Android things. One more thing that you have to keep in mind, if I want to design my Android application for the Android wearable devices, such as your health monitoring devices, that is wristwatches, right? So in that case, instead of selecting the first option or first step here, that is phone and tablet, I will be selecting the second option, that is variable OS, because if you are creating the Android application for phone and tablet, it might not run on the variable OS properly. Similar cases are with the TV, automotive, or Android things. So the particular platform for which you want to develop an application, so those platforms will be properly selected in these cases. So again, you can explore these tabs which are displayed here, right? So in first tab, you can identify that without activity, you can create any application, so that just for example, in previous application, main activity.kt was the default activity that has been created. But if you want to all the activities defined by the developer, then you can select this first option. There are other options such as basic activity, empty activity. In the previous project, we have selected the empty activity. Similarly, bottom navigation for today's project, we will be selecting basic activity, right? With this basic activity, by default, this fab button, that is floating action button, will be added into your Android application. Okay, so other options are bottom navigation activity. Similarly, there is option that is fragment plus view model, full screen activity, then master or detail flow, then navigation, drawer activity, right? Then login activity, scrolling activity, tabbed activity, Google Maps activity, and C# native support. Uh, so these things can be selected as per your or developer requirement. Okay. So for today's project, we'll be selecting basic activity. So similar sort of options are also available in variable OS. Okay, so again, with no activity, blank where activity is there, right option. Then similarly, Google Maps where activity is there, right, and watch face. Okay, so automatically this watch face will be incorporated in your application. Okay, no need to create it separately. So if you want to design Android application for variable OS, so you can select any one of these options. Okay, as per the requirements, your requirements. Inside TV, so by default again, no activity and Android TV activity by default options are there. In automotive, again you can explore that no activity, media service, messaging service. These options are available there. Android things. Okay, so that is IoT support. If you want to add, then Android things empty activity is there. So according to these type of projects which you are selecting, the library supports will be added. Okay, so once you select this type of required activities, automatically your Gradle will sync with all the required resources and libraries. Okay, but for this project, we'll be selecting basic activity. So after selecting basic activity, just click on next, and then you will get the configuration screen where you can configure your project, right? So we'll be giving a list creator as the name of this application. Okay, so after giving that name, you can specify the package name, right? So one thing that you have to keep in mind, whenever you are creating Android application, the package name of that application should be unique one, right? If any device holding application, two different application with same package name, so it will raise to the give rise to the problem, right? So those application will not run properly. Therefore, a unique package name should be assigned to your application. Just for example, here the package name is list creator, right? So you can keep this list creator package name because list creator package name has not been given to the previous applications. Okay, that has been created for a mobile device, right? If list creator is already created, then you can use some other package name here, right? Otherwise, your mobile application will not run properly. Okay. Most of the time, these package names are assigned as per the name of application. So, just for example, if I want to use some new application name to my mobile application, just for example, if I'm creating Facebook, okay, I have given Facebook name to my application, then package created here will be Facebook. Okay, so this list creator is the package. This is nothing but the directory inside which all these classes and other support files are maintained, right? And the list creator is nothing but the class name or the my application with which my application will be referred. So here I have, I think, modified the name of package as Polynode MS, but there is no need to convert it because list creator is the unique package name which already given to the package, okay, which will be uniquely maintained. So that there will not be issues while running this application into any other platform, right? Similarly, you can select any save location. So by default, save location is there. I will keep it as is it. So language support, Kotlin or Java is there. Then minimum software development kit or API level that you want to select. So if you click on this help me choose, so you can go through all the available API level options which support. So you can see here these API levels are there, that is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23 to 29. Okay, so all these API levels are there. So if you are selecting this Android thing with 29 API levels, so it will support only 8.2 mobile devices, 8.2% of total available devices worldwide, right? But if by default this Android 4.4 KitKat has been selected with 19 API level, which is supporting most of the devices worldwide, that is 98.1% of devices has been selected. You can scroll through these all available API level options to know about what different features those API levels are providing. Just in this case, this KitKat 4.1, 4.4 with API level 19 has been selected. So it is providing support for printing framework, SMS provided, as well as wireless and connectivity, multimedia, animation and graphics, user content, user input, user interfaces. And you can also go through these sub options which has been provided. So all these supports are provided by this API level 19. Similarly, you can go through all other options. So all these support will be available in these 98.1% devices available worldwide. Okay, so your application will run in almost all devices. So similarly, if you go through this Jelly Bean, right, so some additional support has been provided, that is notifications or maybe other things are also available there. So it is better practice to select the by default API level version that has been suggested by your Android Studio while creating the project. So here by default API level 19 has been selected. So I will select or I will keep that option as it is, and I will click on finish. Okay, and then I have to wait after clicking on finish. I have to wait till all the Gradle sync process will not get completed, as well as all these folder structure are not properly arranged, as well as all the library support will not get added. Okay, so once this project has been created and sync process has been finished, Gradle sync process has been finished. So you can observe one thing here. In previous project, we have selected empty activity. So only main activity.kt and activity underscore main.xml file has been created. So we have managed the layout of the complete application through activity underscore main.xml in previous project. But here you can observe one additional, or rather three additional files has been added, that is content underscore main.xml, fragment first and fragment second .xml. So for this project we will be managing the look and feel of application through content underscore main.xml. Okay, so here if you expand this screen, so you can see that this navigation host fragment has been automatically added in this content underscore main dot xml file, right? So currently it is open in the design view. Okay, so you can observe here this navigation host fragment is there, right? In first fragment, that is first fragment, this is fragment underscore first dot xml. There is one text view as well as one button available. So if you click on this button, it will go to the second fragment. So in second fragment, there is only one button that is named as previous button, right? So basically we don't need this fragment, we can delete it. Okay, so we'll be deleting it later on, but before that we'll be exploring some things here. So in constantly out, under this content, or you can say that this content main XML file, the layout that has been used is nothing but the constraint layout, so that the components which are added in different fragments should get displayed at the proper position, okay, where we want, right? So again, if you go through this main activity, again, there will be some import packages. The main activity, which is extended, is app content activity. During the life cycle of your application, these functions which will get called, which is nothing but on create menu, on create options menu, on options item selected. Okay, all these functions are predefined functions. Okay, so during the life cycle of your Android application, these functions will get called, right? So again, this is automatically created as you have selected that what your basic activity option from the project options available with you, right? So again, if you explore activity main.xml in design view, so you can observe here, if you observe the component tree, so it is the coordinator layout which has been maintained here. Inside this coordinator layout, application bar layout is specified. Inside this application bar layout, you can see a toolbar. So automatically toolbar is available with your application, right? And it includes this content main.xml. Okay, layout from content.xml has been included inside the activity main uh, layout file, right? So if you hover the cursor over this, so from this layout folder, whatever layout has been specified inside content main, that has been that will be appearing inside your this activity main design view, as well as one floating action button has been added here. So if you explore here, so this floating action button is there, okay, which can be dragged anywhere within the application. Okay, so by default it has been added. One toolbar is there, and uh, these different things which are appearing here, that is hello first fragment, this is the text view, as well as next button. So these things are specified inside this content underscore main XML file, okay, which has been directly included inside the activity underscore main.xml with this include. So these things you can observe here, right? Okay. So so once you go through all these things, you can observe their attributes, okay, which has been specified here after selecting these components, okay, from component review. Okay, this include has been directly see here layout declare attributes, that is at layout slash content underscore main. So it will be referring this content underscore main dot xml file, right? which is holding two different fragments, that is first fragment and second fragment. First fragment comprising one text view and one button, and second fragment comprising only a button. Okay, so this can be observed inside the design view of content main. Okay, that is content underscore main file. Right. You can try to open these two XML file, that is fragment first and fragment second, in design view. Okay, currently in this video I have not opened it, but you just try to open this fragment first and fragment second files in design view and observe those files, what is happening. So just try to run this application directly. We have not made any changes into it, but we can observe the output of this application. So here again I have selected Nokia 6.1 Plus to run my application. Okay, so after selecting that Nokia 6.1 for running my application, I can observe the output of this application. So what it will be displaying, I am running this application on my Android mobile phone. So what it will be displaying, so it will be displaying one application with one toolbar. The name of application will be list creator. In the toolbar, if you click on three dot buttons, so setting option will get displayed. Below that, hello first fragment message is displayed through that text view. One next button will be there. If you click on that next button, you will be switching to the second fragment. In second fragment, there will be button with label previous. If you click on that previous button, it will come back to the first fragment with text view and button. Okay. So, and one fab button will be there, that is floating action button. So you just try to run this application and you will observe that output into your mobile phone or the selected Android virtual device. Okay, so after that, now I will play this second video where I had okay. So here I will play this second video where we'll be creating recycler views, right? Before that, we'll be deleting different things from the current application. Okay, so just I will share initially this video with you. Okay, so in this after running that application, come back to your Android Studio, right? So here, first part, this application has been run. After that, you can stop running this application, right? And then you initially directly delete this navigation host fragment from your application, because we don't want this fragment to get displayed, right? So right click on it or select it and press delete button, or right click on it and then select delete option from it. Okay, so it will get deleted. Okay. So after deleting it, I will try to currently, if you observe here, so this content dot main, I have opened it in design view. Okay, so then I will be dragging and dropping this recycler view into this design view preview screen of this content underscore main. Right, so after dropping it into this, so you can see that there are different atoms which has get displayed here with this recycler view, but these atoms are not defined yet, right? And under the component tree, you can observe that recycle view has been added. We'll be setting the attributes of this recycler view, right? So three attributes will be setting here, that is ID and layout width and layout height. So ID that has been assigned here is list underscore recycler view. Okay, so that ID will be referring or accessing inside our Kotlin code, right? Or anywhere in wherever we want, we can access this recycler view using this identifier. Okay, that is list underscore recycler. Then we will be changing these constraints. So we'll be setting it to 0 by pressing it on plus sign. Just set all these constraints to 0. So after that, once these constraints will be set to 0, we'll be assigning layout width and height. So match constraint, sorry, that match constraint will be selected. So by default, this 0 uh, density pixel will be selected for it for match constraints. Right? After that, you can switch to your main activity.kt. Inside this, I will be declaring what let initialization variable so that it will indicate that a recycler view will be created in future. So I have defined one variable which will be initialized in future, which is declared as list recycler view, and the type of that variable is recycler view. Okay, so recycler view is a class. Again, I need to import that class if it is not imported already, right? It will get displayed in red. Along with that, I will be adding some more lines of code. Okay. So this declaration or this component or property is this property is declared before on create, and after on create function, I will be adding few more lines of code. One thing that you have to keep in mind, if your internet is connected there, try to disconnect that internet. Otherwise, it will take time to load, right? So now here you can observe that this recycler view is appearing in red. That means it has not been imported here in this Kotlin file, right? And whatever variable that I have created here, that is recycler view of recycler view class, that is list recycler view variable I have created. So what I am assigning to this list recycler view, so I will be finding view by ID. So as just we have created that ID identifier given to the recycler view that we have dragged and dropped into the content main design view. So we will be accessing that list recycler view. We are finding it. So this list recycler view will be referring to the recycler view that we have added into the content underscore main design view. The layout that has been assigned to this list recycler view can be assigned through this layout manager. So we are using linear layout. So for that purpose, linear layout manager has been called here. Okay, that constructor has been called here. And then after that, we had to create the view adapter. Okay, once we have created the layout for the list for displaying the list, we'll be just calling the adapter. We'll be sending request to the adapter to display the various list item into the recycler view. Okay, through the different view holders. Okay, so for that purpose, I will be calling list selection recycler view adapter here. So it is again a constructor of a class that that class we will be defining within a moment. So it is a user defined class. So we need to define it, or we have to rather create this class separately. Okay, so first we will try to add the support of files which are not available here. Okay, so initially we will add the reference to the recycler view class by importing the package. Okay, so this recycler view package has been imported from Android X.recyclerview.widget. Similarly, I will be importing this package, that is package for linear layout manager. Okay, so it is from again recycler-view.widget. Linear layout manager will be referred. Now I have to create this list selection recycler view adapter. Okay, so for that purpose I will be going into my Java folder inside the package, it is com.polynode.ms.list creator. So on that, after selecting it, I will be clicking my mouse right click button. Okay, because I want to, here you can delete this first fragment and second fragment, okay, classes, because we don't need, because we have already deleted that navigation fragment from it. Okay, so you can delete it. Okay, so after clicking mouse right click, so you will get this new option. Inside that you can select Kotlin file or class file. Here you can specify this name, that is list selection recycler view adapter class. Okay, and after that you can select this class. Okay, after clicking on this class, automatically list selection recycler view adapter class will be opened for you. Okay, and it will be added inside this list creator package, right? So it is maintained inside this list creator package, the class this with name list selection recycler view adapter. So this class we have created. Similarly, one more class we will be creating for view holder, right? So again, same process we are following, and the name of that class we will be giving as a list selection view holder. Okay. So this again, this class is maintained inside the list creator package. Okay. So these two classes we have created. First one is list selection recycler view adapter, and second list selection view holder. Okay. So after that, we will be extending recycler view inside the list selection view holder. So this recycler view will be calling view holder. Okay, so that atom can get displayed, or atom should get returned by the view holder to the adapter. Okay, so view holder will be returning items to get displayed, or different view holders to be displayed in the recycler view. It will get returned to the adapter. Okay, here also you can add the reference to view and recycler view, so that these unreferred things will get removed from here. So I will be importing the package required for view class, that is android.view, under which dot view class is there. Similarly, android recycler view dot widget dot recycler view class will be referred. Similarly, I will be extending this recycler view. See, here I am extending this list selection view holder. Okay, and this list selection view holder is the class which I have created. Okay, this list section view holder, I have created that class, and I am just extending that class into list selection recycler view adapter. Okay, recycler view adapter. So it is the adapter, and this second is the view holder. Okay, just we have seen in that diagram how those recycler view adapter and view holder are communicating with each other, so that atom should get displayed at the proper location. Okay, so here you can observe that the this list selection view holder was extending this recycler view. Okay, if you observe in this previous class, this list selection view holder was extending recycler views view holder. Okay, so therefore, while writing in this list selection recycler view adapter class, so inside that adapter class, we have imported, if you switch back to this list selection recycler view adapter class, we have imported this list selection view holder, but it is of recycler view adapter type, right? So once you add this support, right, again you will try to import the recycler view reference. You can observe here after adding this, your list selection recycler view adapter, some red under it will get underlined in red. If you move your mouse cursor over it, so it will display one message, that is class list selection recycler where is not abstract and does not implement abstract base class member. So public abstract function on create view holder as well as other functions should get defined inside it. Okay, so for the list selection. So basically, we need to override certain functions into it of adapter class. So you can directly implement, click on implement members. So it will display the list of member functions available. So which are those? So that is nothing but on create view holder. Second one is get atom count, and third on bind view holder. So you can click on all these functions, member functions of adapter class. So and press control button so that all these member function should get selected, and you can click on OK button. So that by default these all member function will get added, so that you can override these functions inside the newly created class. Okay, so you can observe here this on create view holder will be displaying list in the recycler view, right? So after selecting all these member function, you just click on OK, and you can observe that all these function now added inside this class that you have created, right? So uh, currently uh, we are not implementing any one of these function. We are not written the definition of this function. We are overriding all these functions. So these are predefined function inside the adapter class. Okay, so on create view holder, get atom count, and on bind view holder, these three functions will be overriding one by one. Okay, if you observe this on create view holder function, so two parameters has been passed. First one is group, and second one is the count or view type. Okay, total integer values. So it is of view group type, that is parent. Okay, and this view type, it is of integer type. Okay, and similarly this get atom count, it will be returning some integer total number of atoms, how many atoms are there, and this on create view holder will be returning total list selection view holder. Okay, so what is to be displayed inside the recycler. And on bind view holder, again two objects are passed here, or two values are passed here, that is nothing but holder. It is of type list selection view holder, and second is position. Okay, at what position that value should get displayed or atom should get displayed. Okay, so we'll be writing the code again. Here we will be declaring one array. Okay, array of different list items. Okay, or the name that has been given to this array is as list item. You can specify any number of items inside this array. Currently, three strings has been passed to this array. So it is array of three strings, that is shopping list, books, and Android tutorials. So it is what we are creating. We are creating a static list which will be getting displayed inside the recycler view. So if you want to display more number of items, so you can increase the number of string passed to this array, right? And it can be referred by using list titles. Okay, so after adding or declaring that array, I can access the total number of, I can simply delete this line. I can and I will count the total number of atoms that I want to display inside the recycler. So for that purpose, list titles dot size I will be I will be calling here. So this size will return the total number of elements present inside these list titles. Okay, so currently there are 3 elements, so it will return integer variable 3. Okay, this get item count function will return the size of list title, that is nothing but 3 here. Okay, so if you increase the number of strings in passed to this array, so if you pass 2 more strings, just for example comma, separated value you will be writing within double quotes. Okay, so if you pass it here phones comma, then maybe you can also pass it as tablets. Okay, so it will, in that case it will return 5. Okay, after this so get item count is used to know how many items we want to display in the recycler view. So after that you can click on layout, right click on layout, and you can add one resource file, layout resource file for for displaying items in linear layout. Okay, so we'll be giving name of that file as list selection view holder. Okay, so whatever list we will be displaying here will be accessed by using this resource file. Okay, and you can keep this name in mind, that is list underscore selection underscore view holder, which we are given to that file. And here we'll be using linear layout, so I want to change here I will be typing linear layout simply. When you will be typing linear layout, so automatically it will get displayed here, so you can select and press OK. Right, so automatically this XML file will be created with name list selection view holder.xml. Okay, so see, I want to display those 3 items which I have created in previous array. Okay, but those how I will be displaying it, so I will be displaying it as a number list. Okay, so 3 items are there, so those 3 items will be displayed, but for that purpose I will be adding 2 text views inside this linear layout. Okay, so first text view for number, item number, and second text view for item string. Okay, so as there are uh, three strings inside those list items, so your item number will be, it will be automatically displaying 1 2 3. In front of 1 it will display the name of string or name of atom. Similarly, it will display 2, and in front of 2 it will display the string. Okay, so for the first text view I will be giving id as the item number. Again, I will be deleting the text which has been displayed here, so there is no label assigned to it, and I will be changing layout width and layout height to wrap content. Okay, so once it has been done, you can go to all attributes, layout margin you can set here. Okay, so that it should get displayed at the proper position and at the proper margin. So inside that layout margin option, okay, you can see different options. The first option is for all margins. Okay, and the remaining options for, that is start margin, top margin. So you can observe here, right, the other margins are indicating, but I am interested in setting the, quickly here I will directly specify here 16 dp. Okay, that is 16 density pixel has been assigned here. Okay, so automatically it has been reflected here so that all margins are Uh, Similarly, I will be adding the second text view. I will be giving identifier for first text view. I have given identifier as atom number. For second text view, I will be giving the ID as atom string. Again, I will be deleting text. I will be changing layout width and height to wrap content. Again, I will be setting the layout margin to 16 dp. Okay. So after making these changes, as you can observe this component tree, there is linear layout. Okay. Currently it is appearing in vertical, and there are two text views that we have added, that is atom number and atom string. Okay. These are the identifier assigned to those two text views. Okay. You can change this linear layout so that it should get appear in horizontal form. So for that purpose, you have selected linear layout from the component tree, and then from attributes, you can set this orientation to horizontal, as well as you can change this layout width and layout height to, again, wrap content. Okay, so all done here in design view. How those will be looking, will be viewing inside the application. Now it is time to write more few lines of code inside our class, that is list selection recycler view adapter that we had created, right? So again here, what I'm doing, so I have declared a layout inflator, okay, from whatever layout is there. So it will be creating that view holder, and it will be displaying the list selection view holder. Okay, so this list selection view holder is nothing but this XML file, okay, that we have created, which is located as a resource inside the layout. Okay, so it is referring to that list selection view holder. So whatever items which will be specified inside this list selection view holder will be referred by this view, and it will be returning this list selection view holder, uh, this view variable which has been created, which has been passed to this list selection view holder. So you can observe here this function on create view holder is returning, or the return type of this on create view holder is list selection view holder. Okay. So again, I have to add the reference of layout inflator, right? So I will be importing the package which comprises layout inflator class. Okay. So I will be adding this Android.view inside this package. This layout inflator is there. You can observe that list underscore selection underscore view underscore holder is appearing in red. So you just avoid it. You just neglect it, right? So automatically it will be referred when you will be running it, right? So it will be referring this file, okay, inside which you had just added two text views, okay, and one linear layout has been defined there, right? Inside that linear layout, two text views is there. One is for number and second is for string, okay. So next, inside list selection view holder class, you will be adding two, whether you will be declaring two properties. First one is list position and second one is list title, okay. Again, you will be identifying these two properties uh, as the item view, that is this is nothing but the object of view class, right? So it is you are identifying it by using their identifier. These two identifiers we have just created. One first one is for your first text view, that is item number, and second one for second text view, that is item string, okay. So list position and list title, these are the two for text views. Again, you will be adding the reference of text view inside your code. from Android.widget package, this text view class will be referred. Okay. And list position, list title, these two properties will be referred into the atom number and atom string, okay, that we have just created. So we can access those two class member properties inside this second class, that is list selection recycler view adapter. Okay. Now here this holder object of list selection view holder class. Okay. So list selection view holder class is defined by us here, that is list selection view holder. So we have created the object of that list selection view holder class. So instance holder will be created, and through holder instance we are accessing those two properties, that is list position and list title, as both these properties of type text view. So we'll be accessing the text what they are referring. Okay. So currently what text we are assigning here? So we are assigning the text as position plus one dot toString. Okay. So this position is nothing but the integer value, okay, which is passed to this onBind view holder, right? So this will be nothing but the these values which will be assigned here will be 1, 2, 3, and titles are nothing but from this array. Okay, that is list titles. Okay, so list position, right? This position will be accessing these positions, that is 1, 2, and 3, and list titles will be accessed from this array, right? Because array will be starting with the index 0. So this is at array of 0, this is array of 1, this is array of 2. So for that purpose, we are doing it as position plus 1, right? And uh, this position plus 1, this is nothing but list titles of 1 is nothing but your shopping list. List title of 2 is nothing but books, and list title of 3 is nothing but your Android tutorials, right? So those will be referred here inside the holder, right? And after that, you can directly run this code because all things you have set, right? So your list will get displayed. Okay. So here one error has been thrown, that is unresolved reference to list recycler view. Okay, so I will be going into the my content underscore main XML file. So I will be opening it in design view, and list recycle view is the identifier given to the recycler view. Okay, so I have assigned it, but somehow it has been erased from here. So to this recycler view, I will be giving the identifier as list underscore recycler. Right? And once again, I will be running this application. So what will happen? So when you will run this application, you will find that automatically it will be fetching the list labels from the array that you have defined, comprising 3 elements inside that array. Those three strings are there, right? And those 3 strings will be displayed inside your uh, recycler view in numbered form. Okay, because we have used the one text view for atom number and second text view for atom string. So atom number is automatically incremented, that is 1, 2, 3 will get displayed. Okay, and then automatically in front of those 1, 2, 3 numbers, those 3 strings will be displayed. You can try to increase these strings inside that array. Okay, so automatically all those strings will get displayed. Okay, so in today's session, what we have seen, so how to add recycler view, how to add adapter, okay, how to add holders, okay, view holders, right? and how to pass those atoms from your recycler view initially send request to the adapter for the atoms which is to be displayed inside the recycler view. The recycler view, adapter will reach to the view holders, full of view holders, how many atoms are there. Then this view holder will return those atoms or view holders to the adapter. Then adapter will bind those view holders with the data element which is to be displayed. Okay, so it will bind those view holders or atoms with the data, and then it will return those view holders or atoms to the recycler view. Okay, so this complete process we have seen in today's session. Okay, by developing this app which we have given name as list creator, we just create this app, and in next session we'll be covering shared preferences, and we'll be extending this app so that the different preferences will be shared among these view holders of recycler view. So thank you for attending today's session.